ever seen, you know in the first 5 minutes exactly what's going on, right? Scene opens, guy's running, being shot at. It's night. He dives in a ditch. The next 5 minutes, you'll know exactly what happened. Why? That's the way you've got to be when you tell your story. So let's build some stories. We'll do this casually. We're not going to make this an exercise. This is a school. But we got to build these stories. Here's the first 10. Product, must be absolutely certain the product makes sense. So we'll build, I'm going to pick on someone. Look, there's so many different kinds of life insurance. Whatever you sell, you need a story for it. People buy life insurance for 2 reasons. That's why I always tell people. They love somebody or they owe money. So why do I always use it? I couldn't buy it. Life insurance, I heard Ron Price say life insurance is the final love letter. You made that comment one day in a meeting. I love that story, that comment. It's the most flexible investment. So now life insurance is great. And it goes back to Babylon in 2000 BC. Insurance started. That's sort of the chronology of insurance over the years. What you're doing, Louise, people have been doing for 2,000 years. We're not paving ground here. We're not pioneers. We've been going on since Babylon in 2250 BC. People have been. You know what happened in 2250 BC? Why insurance even came into being? People started to own stuff for the first time. I got to insure what I own. I'll send 8 ships over, but I need. Babylon was started by water. Everything came up with water. So they get 6 ships there with stuff. They send 8, knowing something was going to happen to a couple of them statistically. So it's a long, long industry. Who have I helped? This is a story we can build. Ralph, what's your most common product? Are you You've recommended it to me. Tell me, say I'm a business owner. What's your typical client? 5 employees? All right, I'm a small business owner, 50 years old. Tell me a story of someone you've helped lately. Does one come to mind? The last case you sold.
Okay, well, it's a company that's just doing really well, making money, just when they look at the tax.
Wait, before you start. What's he doing now? Set the stage for us.
Yeah, let me tell you about this guy, Luis. This guy was making a lot of money in his business, but he's just getting killed with taxes. And just
what's that?
Good job.
Give me more about the beginning. Tell me his age. Is he married? Does he have kids? What's the meaning?
This guy happened to the case of guy's working in the oil industry. He does heavy equipment moving and
here in Texas.
Projects. Here in Texas, out in West Texas. And the businesses that he's got multiple businesses, so he's got a little bit of complexity. But he's just making a lot of money.
Married?
He's married. He's got two other partners.
That's the stuff I want to know. That makes it interesting. Now I want to hear the endings.
Now is he cheating on his wife? What are you doing?
Shut up and let me finish.
And unfortunately, his CPA isn't really giving any advice, so he's looking for some help on how he can save taxes. So we approached him with a way that he can save.
He decided to see us.
We looked at his situation and we showed him a way that he could save literally millions of dollars in taxes just by making slight changes.
Did you do it?
He's an underwriter.
Takeaway? What's the takeaway of that story, Skeeter?
Well, the takeaway is Ralph made some money, or he'll make some money, but that guy scratched the itch. I mean, he's feeling the tax burden.
You guys like me.
Yeah.
So Ralph can help me, right?
I don't know about that.
John, tell me a story. So, what product do you typically sell?
Oh, like terminal.
Who's your typical client?
Young family that have kids, and that's what I do.
You guys work together? Or you going off on your own?
Eventually, yeah.
Tell me a story of someone you've helped. Give me some context. Give me some rich context.
Actually, let's see, it's my mother-in-law. So she did
Who? Tell me the story from the beginning.
So my mother-in-law wanted to add another life insurance, so she decided, you know what, I have money now and I don't want monthly payment, so she did a simple one pay type policy, and I guess that kind of like relieved her from the burden of yearly expense, right?
Remember rule number 1. Before you tell your story, know what you want the moral of the lesson to be. What's the lesson of that story? See, there's no lesson, is there?
Well, because she's related to me, that's why. And she's older than me. I can give her.
You know, I want to know
But
someone.
Maybe that's a
help.
bad example.
No, you're
Okay.
getting there. Say you use a term, or are you term?
No, it's a whole
Single
thing.
premium.
Single premium.
Hold on.
Let me tell you a story about single premium insurance can help. You said, because you want me to buy that. So you said that's the product for me, okay? Don, let me tell you how this can help people. Tell me a story or something. Forget your mother-in-law. Somebody else should help with that product.
Okay. Well, a family friend, the husband died and left the wife money from the life insurance. So the wife, the widow, came to me, and I told her the money is not that big, but with a small amount of money that you put as a single pay for the insurance, it's going to double, and that would be a good inheritance and zero expense for you. So she said, you know what, that's a good idea. So she did.
That's the kind of stories. Anybody else want to try it? Anybody else?
I did.
Go ahead.
I had a client call me one day, lives in Florida, and he said, Ron, you helped me buy life insurance many, many years ago. He says, now my business is growing, I got 5 partners, and we need to have some kind of plan in case something would happen to me. And I said, well, why are you concerned about that now? And he said, because I fell off a mountain last year, 100 feet. And it tore up my torso and everything else. And he says, now I'm in a situation that if something happens to me, my wife doesn't want to run this business. And none of my partners are listening. Can you help? So I flew out there and I sat down with them and went through the discussion about buy sells. And finally asked the question. I said, let's play a game. I said, all right. I said, the guy sitting at the head of the table died last year when he fell off the mountain. Who's going to run the company?
That's a good question.
So they decided they would go with the number 1 person that's the oldest living marketing head that's been around since he started the company. I said, oh, wait just a second. I said, there really is another owner, and that happens to be the wife.
Right.
I said, how many want to work for Terry? 5 people looked out their feet. Nobody wanted to say they didn't want to work for her. And I finally said I wouldn't work. She didn't want to work for you either. She didn't want you to work for her because the fact she doesn't want this company after Dal's gone. Now let's create a plan and go from there.
Get the point? I mean, now you practice that story till it rolls off your tongue and you say it with enthusiasm. I can help you. Let me tell you, I have someone just like you. That's magic words to people. I mean, if you go to get your knee replaced, what do you want to hear? I've never done this before. I'll give it a shot. I've replaced 3,000 knees. I've helped people just like you for the last 25 years. Just like you. Same circumstance. Let me show you how I did it. I'll tell you what product is great. This product is perfect for someone like you. Connelly is perfect for you.
You're making a good point, but you need to tell stories to people that have money. Don't waste your time telling stories to people that can't buy what you sell.
Well, that's why I said you're a sifter, not an alchemist.
You see a lot of people wasting their time.
Well, you really, I didn't want to be crude and say it, but you got to control the sale. That's what you're saying. Yeah, your first word should be goodbye.
Here's a bill.
Yeah. I mean, there are 300 million Americans that need your help, or Puerto Ricans that need your help. You don't need to spend your time with a guy that doesn't want to do business with you. If
Right.
someone's not in the market, someone doesn't like you, someone doesn't trust you, you don't like them, you don't trust them, adios.
Well, you may like them.
They'll have the money.
Ron,
Tell me a story about someone you've helped.
Well, I do the same thing over and over and over again.
Thank you. That's what I'm hoping. Thank you. 3,000 Ds I've done.
Right, so we always approach people the same way. We
It's the number
solve-
one guy in the company, folks, listen up.
We always solve issues, and every one of my clients, the one that I work with, have tax problems. And we basically solve their tax problems when we find money so that they can pay themselves instead of paying the government. And we do it through life insurance, it's a structure. And life, I always bring it up. I'm gonna tell you about a tax planning tool that you're not gonna like the word, it's called life insurance. Okay, you're missing the point, right? Go through the process, why you want this, and then the light bulbs start going. So life insurance is no longer an issue, and then you get into, it does this, this, and this, and this, in addition to the tax-free income we can generate. So I do the same thing over and over and over.
Brian, what happens to do the same thing over and over and over again? What happens eventually? You're real good at it. I'm sure you're real good at it. You know,
Taxes will never go away.
what were the three things I said we have to do, the 3 10s? There's 2 more we're not gonna talk about today. They're not 10s, but there's 2 more action steps after that. One is lower the action threshold. And number 5 is raise the pain threshold. An action threshold is how willing is this person to buy? Is he a 5? Is he a 3? Is he a 9? If you can't sell them, you gotta lower that action threshold. You gotta make it easier for him to buy. If you still won't do it, now you crank up the pain. Taxes. Every business owner's bane is taxes. I would tell my clients, paying taxes is a voluntary contribution. It's an exaction. It's not a voluntary contribution. Like Judge Learned Hand ruled, that every American has a right to arrange his affairs so as to pay the least amount of tax possible. It's your right. Why would you pay unnecessary tax? Because Van Mueller would say, you have an affair with somebody at the IRS, you spend my money all the time. Van say that. But that's right, you raise the pay threshold. Taxes. That's the burr in the saddle, right?
Hey, Doug, a quick question maybe
Yeah.
for you and Jim. And,
That's Jim. He's the man.
You know, in terms of sifting, right? You know, when you go to a blind referral, it's like the epitome of probing, right? And see where we're at without being disrespectful or intrusive, but you got to know the information. So I'm at this point of how to pre-qualify in a maybe short 5-minute phone conversation to see if it's gonna make sense for us to actually meet. Do you guys come up with that
Yeah,
issue?
one of the ways we do this is there's two ways that I qualify. One is the more intrusive. Before I meet with a client, I want to get their tax return. So what we'll do is we'll sign a letter, typically
An NDA?
like a HIPAA letter for finances. Essentially, we can't share your financials. We need to look and analyze where you are today. I can't tell you where you're going until I know where you are. So you got to get their trust to give you that documentation. That hurdle's pretty easy to get to. If I'm sensing any type of resentment to get that, then we'll go through number 2. I'll ask them, how much do you need to live on? Pick a number, I don't care what it is. Tell them to multiply it by that monthly income times 12. And take that number times 0.4. Do a calculation in your head. And now you know what that number is. Compare that to the number that you paid on your last filed tax return. 90% of the time it will be substantially less. And you say, yeah, it's less. Well, give you your tax returns, I'll show you how to pay that number. Okay. You got it. Then they'll want more. And then you go through the process. It's not that complicated. But if I can get the data, then we got something.
Yeah.
And then we'll do the math.
I get a lot of illustration requests, and people say the client needs whatever. And my first question is, what's their budget? Which is part of the sales process that Gary always taught. And I'm always surprised at the advisors that don't even ask that question. So another way, where you want us, like for smaller cases where you don't need the tax returns, is just ask them that. How much could you put aside on a regular basis to solve this problem? And then you use that bracket technique. So I don't know. $100 a month? Is it 10,000? Well, it must be somewhere in between. How about I use this? And if they don't know, I ask them, what do you think their income is? And I always use 10% of what their income is.
What's the first thing a car sales investor? How much money is that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Mine was, I would say, I always had the kind of client I wanted in mind. So I'd go to that income level, get a tax return for two, join it, what they would pay in taxes. I'd use that as my question. I'd say, before I went out there, by the way, Jose, let me ask you a question. Did you pay more than $50,000 last year in taxes? He said, no, I was. Because it saved me driving 30 miles a night, right?
Jim, I have a question for you. How do you, when you get a new, or you have somebody you have in mind, how do you make your first introduction to you?
How do I make my first introduction?
How does he make his first introduction to him?
Oh, you talking to me?
Yeah.
The
No,
Jim.
Jim.
Oh.
I typically get referred into to speak.
So it comes on a referral.
I'm done referral, or I'll speak. I'll give you a good example. I was asked to speak yesterday.
2 days ago.
2 days ago, last Saturday. I was approached by a individual that sells medical devices to doctors, and they had a program at the at a hotel in the Galleria, and there's about 45, 48 doctors there. And he wanted me to talk to them. They're selling these equipment. This equipment helps the doctors generate additional revenue for the practices. And some of these pieces of equipment cost $250,000. And so most of these doctors aren't writing a check out of their practice. They're going to finance this thing. And I went through a tax structure to show them how they should deduct it. And if they finance it, I show them a cost that 90% of their CPAs won't consider. I don't know what these guys are thinking. It goes right over their head. And we show that if they restructure their practice from a corporate structure a little bit and cut 42% of their debt that they're paying back through their practice. 42%, it's a big number. That's how I get to them, and they come and talk to me. And from that, I got 3 doctors that came up, they want me to meet with them. First thing, I'm gonna look, if I cut 42% of their costs, where do you think I'm gonna put that money? I'm gonna put it right back in their pocket. They're spending it now. If I save it, I can show them how they can pay it back to themselves.
That's magic, isn't it?
So the
It's money
takeaway in
they're
this,
spending.
the takeaway in this case, I can help you reduce your taxes and put more money back
Pay
into
your pocket.
Yeah, and then you say what this means to you, because we're selling features, not benefits, or, I mean benefits, not features. And what this means to you, and boom, there you go.
Because when I go to, I don't know how much insurance, I ask him, I says, okay, we're gonna, here's the premium we're running. I'll say, 100,000 a year. What, based on age, we don't know what the death benefit is, really care. I don't care about that, because I'm running the money through it. So we try to keep the death benefit down as low as possible, and push as much cash through it.
You know, as soon as you said that, it takes me to a different industry, but it's similar. My father-in-law ran a trucking business. Well, those Peterbilts weren't cheap. And he was doing the same thing that you talk. He'd go out and buy 10 Peterbilts and big cab overs and everything else. And they're costing $250,000 a minimum.
Minimum.
That's a good time. Shall we take a 10-minute break?
Yep. Even 12.
Take a 12.